To our Champions League studio here in London. Liverpool, Real Madrid, one of the biggest games this evening. Liverpool with an impressive 1-0 win against Real Madrid at Anfield. We can take you out to Anfield where the manager, Arne, welcome.
I can't believe Jamie's with me. I thought you wanted to do a picture.
Well, as we know, Big Meek's put a lot of pressure on me beforehand, saying what name was I going to get, what was I going to do, and he'd done better than me on the road. I don't remember Big Meek's getting Pep Guardiola, do you?
I've had him a couple of times away at Juventus.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. Anyway, it's not about you. Arne, how are you doing? Congratulations. Brilliant performance tonight, sir.
Thank you. It was, I think, deserved win.
You see, Micah, he can't ask the tactical questions, so I'll step in now and bring this on. But Arne,
maybe he can give the answers.
Yes.
Wow. Shame on you,
Let's
Jamie.
get back to the game. Real Madrid, obviously one of the biggest, if not the biggest name in European football. That's 2 years in a row at Anfield. You've beaten them. What was the key to the win?
Last season they missed a lot of players. They had many injuries, so you cannot compare that win with this one. But the key to the win was, I think, outstanding performance from the team and from some individuals. And scoring from a set piece does help winning a game. We scored 4 in the Champions League, conceded 0. Scored 0 in the Premier League, conceded 5. So that is a difference. But apart from that, I think we played a very good game tonight, where their goalkeeper was probably the man of the match.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But the thing that stood out for me, you've said individual performances, but it felt like a real team performance and Liverpool performance in European football, where you get the crowd involved, you look energetic, you look a real threat on the counter-attack.
Yes, and also in a high press, and that helps. If you can press really high, fans like it, the players get energy from it. But the main thing was probably, if you play Real Madrid with a very good team, great manager, everything great. But I told them before the game, scored 26 goals in La Liga, 24 goal contributions from Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius. So if you want to have any chance of winning this game, we need to control those two, and I think we did this outstanding. And talking about an individual performance, Conor Bradley was outstanding today, I think, against Vinicius.
I think the last time we spoke earlier on the season, we spoke about how was Liverpool's defensive issues at the time earlier in the season. Against Aston Villa and again tonight, very few chances given up. Something changed. I mean, we spoke to Dominic Szoboszlai. He said something about a 5-second rule about getting behind the ball. I didn't know if that was the last 2 games or if that was something that's always been there, but there seems definitely that there's been a big shift.
Yeah, but the biggest shift is that we are not 1 or 2 goals behind. So if you're 1 or 2 goals behind, especially if you know me, I take a lot of risk in the substitutions I make. They're mainly very offensive, so that means you're a little bit more open and exposed as well in the second part of the game, in the second half. And now against Villa in this game we were 1-0 up, 2-0 up. Yeah, then you can control the game a little bit better as well. But if you're 3-1 down, you cannot go to a low block defending. So you need to take a lot of risk. And in general, I don't even think we concede a lot, especially if you take into account how much risk we need to take if we're 1 or 2 goals down. And again, tonight we hardly conceded a chance. And we are still able to create a lot, except for the Villa game. But that's the one we won, and then nobody talks about it.
Well, I know you like talking tactically about the game and your answers, and in the studio we got Thierry Henry, who was a master tactician, loved talking about the game tactically.
Don't put me there. Coach, congratulations first and foremost. Alles goed?
He worked in Belgium.
No. A question. First and foremost, you mentioned it yourself, but I noticed in the last 2 games the activity of your front three was way better than before. I'm not going to name names, and that becomes easier, obviously, to put pressure and stay higher. But also the capacity that you had in the last 2 games, a bit less against Villa, I will be honest, but tonight to control the transition and making sure that they're never going to really pass the halfway line and you can stay and repeat. And finally, they could fold. Obviously, we all know that Thibaut Courtois had a good game. But what did you concentrate the most on? Was it important, obviously, to press well or to make sure you're going to stop the counters when they're going to go through the pressure?
I think you need almost control everything if you play Madrid because they have so many weapons. But the thing we said was we either press them really high and aggressive or we go to a complete low block. Ooh. Because if you're in between playing against Vinicius and Mbappe, probably one of the players that have the best deep runs and incredible pace, it's so hard to control that. So ideally we press them constantly very high, but never ever give away space in behind the last line. And if you do these 3 or 4 times, make sure you run back instead of forward.
Arne, can I just jump in? Because normally, and I think you came on the show last season as well, and normally Micah asks who your favourite in the show. I can't remember what your answer was, but...
It was me.
Was it you? Well, it's always Kate,
no,
isn't
it was me. He said he grew up with Dennis Bergkamp generation. It was me. You guys don't remember.
Anyway, forget about that a moment.
No.
I spoke to Dominic and asked him, do the players like Jamie? He said they have no problem with Jamie. Can you confirm that, please?
Or deny?
As a player or as a pundit?
Both.
Coach, I wanted to ask you something. Sorry, Jamie. I wanted to tell you, not ask you something. Because it's not always easy. Before game and after game, I always see you being so honest and talking about the tactic that you wanted to do or you did. And I think that's nice because not always coaches go out after a game or before a game and are honest about it. And I think sometimes your honesty is misunderstood. But I played with a lot of Dutch people, and I know that sometimes honesty doesn't always go down too well, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There's just one more thing. We've got Gareth Bale in the studio, and this is a show. And I mean, there's obviously competition for places now because I'm here. Do I go back in? Do you think the show should have 3 Champions League winners, or do you think we should keep Big Meeks?
Well, hold on. Before you answer that, Jamie works every week for another broadcaster that has not won the Premier League. So maybe you shouldn't do that.
He's gone indeed.
This is Champions League. Does Big Meeks stay or is Big Meeks gone?
Did you spoke to one of our players? Because this is what all of our players tell about Jamie as well.
Fantastic!
Yes. Maybe you're getting too honest.
the only man who can get away with it. And I'll never get away with it until he wins the Champions League.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Arne. Good to see you as always.
Wow. Jamie's made his match.
The only one that can get away with it until he wins the Champions League.
He whispered the last bit. We win the Champions League. Oh my God.
All right, everybody, we're going to go to a very quick break. We will be right back on the other side of that break to talk more Champions League. We'll be back. That's where we're going. Okay, Liverpool, Real Madrid. Let's go through the highlights from this one, shall we? Where are we picking it up? Let's see. 0-0
Liverpool
score.
chances.
That's the
yes, it was a Szoboszlai to come to Vertu, who I thought had a really good game actually. And Thierry's actually picking him out every time he did something good. He ended up giving the ball away, but look at that for a save, absolutely outstanding. That was the first one, and then this was the second one. And Jamie's exactly right. I think Szoboszlai has been really good this season, especially with his running power in that midfield. And then we know he can do that, strike the ball. Absolutely brilliant game from him, especially as well defensively. But Real Madrid, chances, Gareth?
Yeah, there weren't too many, to be honest. We obviously spoke about this at half-time, but they were just a bit disappointing. They had a bit of possession, but never really kind of did anything with it. Again, this was probably the only clear chance, and the other one was kind of where Mbappe had that kind of open up of the foot, which wasn't really a chance, but he created something out of nothing. But just a bit disappointed in Real Madrid, to be honest.
And we all thought that the big man was going to once again unlock a situation from the corner. And the ball was a bit too much on Courtois. Not enough pace, as we all know, because it got done after on the goal.
Well, we talk about set pieces a lot now, and the delivery's got to be right. Delivery is fantastic. And the smallest man on the pitch, McAllister, with a brilliant goal. Getting up to speed, you see there, he's just on side, Szoboszlai would just spoke. Amazing delivery, and that was the only thing really. Courtois maybe could have done better, sort of falling back a little bit, but he had the
pace of the ball.
Pace of the ball.
And the pace of the ball. And then Gakpo could have made it too. Really good save, that one. And
I think
it
he's
comes
got
back.
past that.
And I think Salah's just got to roll it across to Verts.
Look at Verts.
And he's just had enough. He turned his back. But yeah, in terms of movement, Gakpo come up front for Ekitike, and then Salah there, he just hungry for that goal, but he definitely should have passed. Good defending in the end by.
I mean, if it wasn't for Courtois, let's all be honest,
it could have been 3 or 4. It really could, but Militao, really good tackle.
Gareth, you said kind of disappointed overall with Real Madrid. What was missing?
Just that spark up front. I think me and Thierry were even speaking that we didn't see Mbappe and Vinicius in that final third really just do a bit of magic and get them back into the game. And it was just a bit disappointing that final third. There wasn't really that kind of quality that you would expect from Real Madrid's players.
Can I just ask you about that? Because we sort of did it before, and we talked about that space. With the pace that Vinicius has, we've seen Mbappe do it, and we've seen Vinicius do it, but why are they stopping so much?
It's frustrating. I think it just complicates things maybe. I think sometimes you just need to knock it and test the defender. They're clearly quicker than anyone on that field. So, yeah, only I guess they can answer those questions. But I think maybe they don't do it, maybe because there's not someone else in the box waiting for the crosses. Maybe you need that focal number 9 where... No, but it could be a bit difficult.
We talked about it before, Gareth. I do not understand. You have to play what you have in front of you. You have to play the moment. Mm-hmm. And even if there is no one in the box, as you said, at least the team went 30 yards back.
Yeah.
And then you can give the ball to your midfielder that maybe will have a strike outside of the box. But I don't know when sometimes people try to be cute where there's no need to be cute. If there is space, just give the ball, recycling the ball. Sometimes it's too scripted. You have a go. At the beginning, for example, we talked about it. Vinicius Jr. had Conor Bradley in the first 5 to 7 minutes. And then you let him breathe. Why do you let him breathe? Have a go up until he gets a yellow, then he can't defend the same way, but it didn't happen.
But what's it like, though? Because we talked about a left-footer playing on left. You played up front, but on that left-hand side, and you would go both ways. When they beat their man, do they come back inside because they want to go inside and don't want to cross with their weaker foot?
I just said because we don't have the image now, but when we watch the game with Gareth, we're watching the game, and Vinicius Jr. received the ball in a 1v1 after having a good battle in the first 5 minutes against Conor Bradley, and he passed it back to his left back to receive it back, and it was a 1v3. Then he attacked the 1v3, and I'm like, wait, do the math. Yeah. You had a 1v1. Try to see what you can do with that one. Why you recycling the ball for it to come back to you to play a 1v3? I just don't get it at time.
What about the
we have some clip to back it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You know, beginning of the yes, go. You have and by the way, he had him at the very beginning, and then he went into him. He didn't really. It was kind of weird. That's what I'm saying. At the beginning of the game, he had to go, and you could see that maybe Conor Bradley was going to have a difficult game. And then, you see, go back into that one, please. I just, can you go back if you can, please? Because it's very important. And Gareth will, now, go, please, pause. What do you see, Gareth?
That space in behind.
Why do you push it?
Now go.
And let's talk after.
And then you've got the striker coming in at the back.
Push it, and then I look at you, and then we see who's the fastest. Why you want to play cute? The grass is there. Go, push it. You see the grass, you gotta go.
Was it fair to say that Conor Bradley was pushing him back the other way too?
No.
In terms of getting into the race? I know you're talking about individual stuff.
Go back again. Go back. Pose. What would you have done, Gareth?
I squared him up and then used the space in behind.
Me too.
Okay.
Do you not see the grass there?
So the question is, why is he not doing it?
Heineken. Do you see it? Push the ball.
But why is he not doing it? Is a question.
I don't know.
That's the question.
I don't actually know. Why do you want to go close to the man, bang, 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 left, right? Why?
And then you
push the ball.
And then you run out of space.
Exactly now. Pause now. Look at the space.
It's lost it.
Look at the space. Why do you want to make a situation that was so simple complicated? Now, if you were already there, now, where he is right now, yes, and you have to be cute. Yes, you have to be cute. You have space. Why do you want to be cute? Pushing the ball is sexy too. Huh? You have to beat your man. That's all we're asking you. You don't have to do a nutmeg. You don't have. Look, we showed Gareth at the beginning. I won't even talk about myself. Gareth would have pushed that ball. See you later. Boom. Let's see who's the fastest. And when you walk past the guy, when you run past the guy, that little look to let him know, woohoo. Hello.
What about the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation? The fact that he comes back to his boyhood club.
I wanted to say that at the beginning of the game. Is that okay? Carragher is not playing. They put Valverde as a right back. You're going back to your old club. That's a double blow. Because I'm not judging what Xabi Alonso did. He has to do what he has to do to win the game. That means you're really far from everything right now. And I love Trent Alexander-Arnold. That has nothing to do with anything. But if you're sitting on that bench, playing against your whole team, and you left, and I can understand. I'm not part of the people that say you shouldn't have left or whatever, but you're sitting there and you're like, okay, Carragher is not playing. Valverde is playing right back. And I'm not playing against it. Oh, that's a tough one. Hopefully, it can come out of that and be strong with it. But overall, you know what? It was Liverpool's night, and what I like the most about Liverpool tonight, and I said it to Dominic before, is that they look like they could stop a counter. Recently, it was too open. It was too easy to attack Liverpool, and that's just not normal. You can't go play a high line, put pressure when you have holes in everywhere in your team, and so that's one thing that's very good for them. That doesn't look good for Arsenal if they go back into a certain situation. But they look great at the minute. Well, in that game tonight in terms of stopping counters.
So it was Liverpool's night. Thierry said it was also Bayern's night. Impressive win over PSG in Paris. We'll talk about that in just a second.
Well, that's obviously a big win for Liverpool, and Thibaut Courtois, who's been absolutely man of the match in previous meetings, including a Champions League final, very nearly pulled it off again. Important, 3 points, important, not just for the points, but for the way back for Slot and Co.
I thought they were brilliant against Villa at the weekend, and I thought they was equally outstanding tonight, and it's a marquee win. Like I said, with this format, we get these juggernauts playing each other, but ultimately you get a free hit here and there. So if you're like Real Madrid now and you've lost this game, Real Madrid will still comfortably go through, barring an absolute catastrophe. So importance levels, it is where it is. But in terms of what it means for Liverpool, they've really took Real Madrid to the sword. There was one good chance from Real Madrid. It could have been 3 or 4. Courtois was brilliant. And I think it's a marker down for them to say, like, we're at it again. And I think that's it now. I think Liverpool will kick on. And I think they'll push Arsenal all the way in the league. And I think they've got a right good chance in the Champions League.
He did pick Florian Wirtz tonight, but he also did pick those midfielders that were the backbone of last season in Szoboszlai, McAllister and Gravenberch. So is it about balance, do you think?
Yeah, I think in terms of that midfield and what they used to, we saw last season, I thought Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai were very good for Liverpool. I thought certainly Gravenberch in that deeper position. We saw McAllister then give him the freedom to get forward and get goals. So, yeah, I like that midfield. Wirtz is a quality player. It's finding a way of getting the best qualities out of him, how they can build the team in getting him in that team. Because you want him in that team and creating stuff. This is a really good header from McAllister.
Yeah.
I mean, you see here, keeps himself onside, and a great delivery from Szoboszlai to put it into an area, danger area. And they're hard to defend. For defenders, they hate those type of balls coming in. Really good contact. And probably the one time that Courtois doesn't quite get it right because he was magnificent for Real Madrid tonight. And it wasn't for him any more goals.
For me, it's the fact that for the second game in a row, you don't concede. After all those goals you conceded earlier in the season, 2 per game pretty much. The fact that after Villa at the weekend tonight against Mbappe, Vinicius, who've been scoring for fun really all season long, both in Europe and in the league, that you don't concede before going to City on Sunday, I think would be huge for that defence, for the way they're structured. Without the ball, that midfield 3 is a massive help, of course. I wouldn't be surprised if it was exactly the same team that started at the Etihad on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, which is obviously a big ask, but we'll see if everybody's fit and available. I mean, obviously, as you've all said, it could have been more, but for Courtois, who is one of the great goalkeepers and has that ability to all parts of his body.
Yeah, one of the greats, arguably of all time as well. You know what he done at the big Belgium, and when you see these chances and you see Liverpool players shaking their heads because you start getting PTSD. They remember the Champions League final where he really won it for Real Madrid, and you start thinking, we're never going to beat this guy. We're never going to beat this guy. But the ball in from Szoboszlai for McAllister's thing was so good because, you know, McAllister's 5'0", you know, but if the ball's that good, you just run onto it and meet it and get a good technique. It's a great result. Julian's right, it's not conceding goals. And I said it 3 weeks ago, the balance with them three boys in the midfield, it just makes it's chalk and cheese. You know, you're not conceding counter-attacks, the spacing's good, the technique of keeping the ball and moving it. So then Salah's, you know, Gakpo's and Ekitike are getting on the ball further up the pitch. Everything about Liverpool's side now looks right in the last 2 games, and now it's about consistency.
Inevitably, there was the big subplot of the return of Trent. He came on relatively late in the game. Joe made the point earlier, he feels it's a real shame that a portion of the fans, which it's fair to say it will be a portion, but
a large portion there.
Sounds like a bigger portion, yeah. It sounds like you know what you do. I think I do agree with Joe in terms of, you know, childhood Liverpool fan, grown up in the city, done such great things, won everything with Liverpool. Probably done, you know. And when I think of his move to Real Madrid, and Joe, you can probably back this a little bit. When you're a youngster and you think of those, you know, dreaming of playing somebody outside of the team you support, it is probably Real Madrid's and Barcelona's. And the kid got the opportunity after winning everything with Liverpool, by the way, as a youngster, to go to Real Madrid. And, you know, it was something different for him. And, you know, wants to challenge himself in a different environment, learn a new culture. And I thought in his return, they'd probably give him a better reception than that. And they're 1-0 up at the time when he does come on, and the game's pretty comfortable for them. But, it's not a nice feeling, probably, you know, certainly for Trent. I get it to a degree. I do get it to a degree. I know what it's like when you go back to your former club, but that was a bit harsh.
They booed him when he was still playing for them.
Yeah.
After he announced the move, so there was no way they were not going to boo him tonight when he's playing for the opposition.
Yeah.
Football fans, they feel it. They feel it in their own way. As you mentioned, it's City on Sunday before the international break, which again looms large and will be another stern test. But when we look at the games to come, they have had quite a hard start in this competition, the Champions League, and to some extent in the domestic games, and lost some games they probably would expect to have done better in, but maybe it gets slightly easier.
Yeah, I think you could say that. Well, I mean, Forest have been, okay, they changed managers, but they still haven't been the Forest of last season. PSV at Anfield again. Yeah. It's a game that you expect Liverpool to win, maybe even rotate. West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds, again, 2 promoted side. West Ham, who won at the weekend, but are nowhere near where they should be, really. So I think if Slot looks at that, with all the promising things that we mentioned, with the ball, without the ball, defensively attacking in the last 2 games, he's going to hope for no injuries through the international break. Isak is going to come back, and it's looking much better already for them.
Certainly going to sleep easier than before Saturday, shall we say. Good win for them. Short break from us after